This is a great trick slash tip for you guys. I actually like to call this a hack. I think hack might be the proper word for this, to be honest with you, because this is not how the manufacturer intended their equipment to be used, but it still works absolutely perfectly. I truly believe that I'm going to save somebody some money out there today. We got some lucky logger on the go right now, and by we, I mean, you'll see. Everybody, thank you for tuning into the show again. SteveSmallEngineSaloon.com right there. That's my website. Check my website out after you watch this episode right here. First off, we got a KM series Stihl WeedEater right here. It's a Kombi unit where you can take different attachments and put them on the same power head. You have one power head to worry about, one carburetor, one piston cylinder, one engine, where you can just easily unscrew the coupling in the middle of that and pull the attachment out. There's your trimmer, your WeedEater attachment right there. And you can go buy different attachments for this thing. You can get your hedge trimmer attachments, your pole saw, a little chainsaw attachment for that. Rototillers, blowers, you can get all kinds of stuff for this thing. But here's the thing right here. If you happen to have a straight shaft trimmer that you've already bought, you haven't got the Kombi System, but it's a straight shaft trimmer, then you're thinking to yourself, boy, do I wish that I had a hedge trimmer right now. We'll use a hedge trimmer as the example. But you don't have the Kombi System. You don't have that coupler in there. It doesn't matter. You can go into a small engine shop and say, hey, I want this. They're going to say you have to buy the Kombi System. You have to get that with that little coupler thing in the middle, like that right there. That is not true. This is a great hack for you guys right here. You can go buy that attachment. There's the hedge trimmer attachment right there. And that's the one that you would normally plug into your KM attachment, KM power head coupler right there. But watch this. All you have to do is take your straight shaft WeedEater like that, and you need your Torx driver bit. It's for all Stihl equipment, by the way, guys, it's a T27, a Torx 27. I know that a Torx 25 works too, but if you guys do want the actual tool that fits all your Stihl equipment, it's a Torx 27. Right underneath this video, I have a description, and the link for one of these things is going to be in that description. So check that link out when you get a chance. Not very expensive at all to get the proper tool. What we need to do is get the trimmer head off of your straight shaft WeedEater. It's super simple. You don't need to take any bolts out or screws out. You need to loosen a few things off. Check this out. You just take that right there and loosen it. And now the WeedEater head just slides right off of there. It's incredible, actually. Now, you go down to the Stihl dealer and buy a new hedge trimmer attachment that is supposed to be only for the KM Kombi System. Well, it comes with this shaft. Same thing on this. You just need to loosen a couple of these bolts right here, like that, and that shaft pulls right out of there. Okay, now look at this shaft right here. Here's your straight shaft trimmer right here. Here's the shaft we just pulled off that KM attachment. Look at this. They are absolutely identical on the end of that. So guess what? Yeah, you go buy that attachment. You're going to have that shaft right there that you just pulled off of there. That is for the KM attachment right there. yeah, you're not going to use this anymore, so you put it away. You might need this one day down the road. Don't throw it out, put it away. But now we look at that hedge trimmer attachment that we just pulled that off of there, and we can mount that right on the end of your straight shaft trimmer, exactly where that gear head was for the weed eater. And then all we got to do is tighten those bolts up again. You tighten those bolts up nice with your T27 driver, and look at that. Now you have an extended reach trimmer, hedge trimmer. Done. You can do this with all of the attachments that I'm aware of. Your pole pruner right here, same thing. You got your little chainsaw bar for cutting off little limbs and stuff up on trees. All kinds of attachments you can buy for these. You do the same thing. You just loosen the bolts off and put them on where you took the weed eater head off of your straight shaft weed eater. Now, I do realize it's not as convenient to do that. I mean, when you actually have a KM unit like that, it's got this, what Stihl calls it is a Tommy screw, big wing nut, and it is nice and convenient. You just loosen it off and plug other things in. Now, on that note, guys, I do have to make sure this is super important, you guys. When you have a Kombi unit like this, and you put that together, you have to slide that Kombi unit up right to that red line. You see that red line right there? That's how you know if you're getting the attachment in far enough. Sometimes it will lock. When you go to push that in, it will actually stop before the red line hits, kind of like that. It's going to stop when you push it in there, and you think it's in all the way because it goes clunk and it stops. But the red line right there is not all the way up to the coupler like that. That is not in all the way. You got to sometimes spin your line head around and kind of get it in. Sometimes you need to run these things, just rev them a bit and then go clunk, and then it goes right down to that red line. You tighten up your Tommy screw like that, and you know it's in all the way. Super important, guys. So if you don't have the Kombi unit, the KM unit, with that little red line on there to make sure that it's going in all the way, this is still super important, you guys. Before you take your line head off of your straight shaft trimmer, take a Sharpie, felt pen, magic marker, whatever you want to call it. And just before you take that line head off right there, just put a mark on it right here so you know how far that shaft is going into that gear head. If you want a more permanent mark, you can take a little screwdriver or anything like that and scratch the outside of that so the line is permanent there. But then you know, once when you pull that off, you know exactly how far it's got to go down. It's kind of the same concept as what they're doing on that coupler with that red line right there. And then you take that hedge trimmer attachment right there, and you know, boom, right down to the line. You know now that it's fully on, so the inside drive shaft is actually in where it should be, and it's going to work properly again. So I thought that was a neat little trick, a little hack there to share with you guys. In a nutshell, you can take those attachments that you can get from Stihl for the KM units. Even if you don't have the KM unit, you can still use those on your straight shaft weed eater. Not this curved shaft, guys, like that. Not this one. I'm talking about the straight one. Subscribe to my channel. Put some comments right down underneath this video and share this with your friends, guys. Hey, by the way, you know how to tell if your cat is Canadian or not? Astro is a little camera shy, but he has great taste. Lucky Logger, guys, here you go, buddy. Till the next video, Astro and Steve.